Okay, so it's carburetor story time. This is my Holley Street HP 750 vacuum secondary carburetor I've had for a few years. And the first problem I encountered with it was noticing that no matter what power valve I put in it, nothing happened on my wideband gauge. So after trying all the power valves that Holley makes, I had it apart one night with the power valve removed, and I was staring at the metering block, and I noticed that they had not drilled the power valve channel restrictions in the metering block. So I got an aftermarket metering block that had the power valve channel restrictions drilled in it, and I put a 10.5 power valve in it, and now that works fine. So when I go below 10 inches of vacuum, I can see on my gauge it enriches the mixture. The next problem I encountered with this was the vacuum secondary is not opening, and I remedied this by taking out the check valve that they have in the vacuum pot and drilled all that out with an 1/8 inch drill bit inside there, inside that housing. I know Holley says not to do that, and if you remove that check ball, or the in this case on this one it was an aluminum bushing with a teeny tiny hole drilled in it, I know Holley says the world's going to come to an end if you remove that, which is total bullshit. And so there was no problem removing that. Okay, the next thing I did was drill out the teeny pinholes that go into the venturis on the primary side and the secondary side, and open those up. And then after discovering it still wasn't quite working well, I ended up plugging the hole that goes into the secondary side with a 440 set screw, and I crazy glued that in there so it's not going to come out. And I plugged the hole with epoxy on the back where I access the hole that goes to the primary side, because those two holes cross each other. So I plugged the one off that goes to the secondary side, figuring that why would you want vacuum being drawn on that? If the primary opens first, it's just drawing vacuum out that hole and it's not doing anything. It's not completely acting on the diaphragm. And so that theory worked out. I don't know why Holley didn't do that. So now my secondary is open and my power valve works, but the next thing I noticed was my secondaries weren't completely opening, because this rod, this link right here, used to go almost touching to the back of this, and that helps close the vacuum secondaries. But the thing is, if you have the rod in this hole, which is where it comes with, when you open the throttle open, the secondary is never fully opened. They would only open not even maybe halfway, not even halfway, I bet, because that rod's in the way. They got the geometry wrong on this. I don't know if all vacuum secondary carburetors are like this, but this one is. And so what I did was I drilled another hole right here, right there, and I stuck the rod through it. And it's about 3/8 of an inch from the original location. The original location is here, now it's here. But the problem is now there's this gap here. I don't know if that's a big deal. I think it's probably going to be okay, because the spring will close the secondaries. And also I put the short yellow spring in the vacuum pot over there. So I don't think this is going to be a big deal. I think they're going to close just fine. I don't think they're going to hang open. But I have yet to experiment with that. But now when I go full throttle, my secondaries open up all the way. You should be able to see that from the top. So I'll go all the way open. Now they open up all the way. So I hope this solves my problem. So thanks, Holley. And you guys expect everybody to go with your EFI systems? I don't think so. I can't imagine the problems you'd have with that and trying to diagnose it. It took me, a lot of trial and decision making to see if I was going to start drilling on this and what was going on with it. And this is just a basic carburetor. They've been building these for 100 years and they still can't get it right. That's a pretty terrible quality control there, Holley. I don't know what management is doing over there. Pretty piss poor if you ask me. Alright, so here we go. I'm going to test on it tonight, see what happens.